We're back for another edition of Te Akau TV, and we're lucky enough to be joined by Te Akau racing manager Reese Trumper. Reese, busy week and obviously a few winners, but you spent a bit of time at the farm there earlier in the week going and checking the spellers.
Hey, Hazy and viewers. Yeah, we have had a very busy week, but it was good to get out to Te Akau stud and see Dave and see all the horses, how they're spelling, and starting to get a lot warmer, so the grass is really coming away at the stud, which is exciting to see.
And daylight savings, it's nice and light in the mornings at the moment. I'm sure you guys will be enjoying that at track work, but obviously the clocks, I'm not sure if they go forward or back, but they change on Sunday anyway, and I think we lose an hour's sleep, so spring is definitely in the air. And what a week it was last week there. I think just kicking off at Taupo there on Friday, superbly written. Great to see Sammy B go and front the inquiry room, one inquiry room attendance, and one victory there as well.
She's a lovely breed filly. Dave paid a lot for her at the Magic Millions, 800,000, and she's showing us potential all the way through. Her trials as a 2-year-old were really good, but we saved her for a 3-year-old. We always knew she'd do better with a bit of time, and her race day 2 starts have been really good, but no, it was a deserving win, and Sammy B stepped up in the room for sure. It was good effort.
Fantastic. Are we a chance of seeing her head down south for a race like the 1,000 Guineas?
We'll build her up towards that, but she has to perform against the better fillies before we consider doing something like that.
And outside of that, Romancing the Moon, great to see her back, the Levin Classic winner of last season, rallied up the Te Akau trifecta there. And I bumped into one of the owners there at the Mapari Meats on Lun Ave on Saturday, and what a great meat store that is. If you haven't been there, go check it out. But what a great performance by Romancing the Moon, Reese.
She's come back in great order. We gave her a few extra weeks at the stud because she had a really busy 3-year-old season, so we missed the early meetings at Hastings, but she's come back in great order, and it was a good effort. She led them up and found a good kick, so she'll get ready now for the red badge sprint on the last day at Hastings, and she'll get on the minimum with 53 in that, so it looks like a very suitable race for her to get some more black type as a 4-year-old now.
Of course, great memories of that race with Te Akau Shark winning that a few years ago. And Saturday there at Riccarton, 3 winners, Star of Justice. Nice to see this Justify horse go there and compete really well.
She was really good. She exploded with the blinkers on. She trolled up really nice in blinkers as a 2-year-old, but we left them off for her first start. But once she got them back on, she was dominant, and we'll target some black type races with her and give her an opportunity to try and make the 1,000 Guineas as well.
And Challa there backed up his last start performance with another great victory. Strong ride from the apprentice. Can you tell us a bit about him?
Marco Haley, he's apprentice to Debbie Sweeney. He's a great young kid. He's come in, ridden a lot of work for Te Akau, and he works hard. He's here at 3:30 and right here until the end, so he deserved his opportunity to ride them, and he rode Challa an absolute peach. He led them up, got away with a couple of cheap sectionals, which meant he was ready to explode on the turn, and he did, and track record, obviously, so Challa's going really well, and he'll head towards the Pegasus Stewards again this year.
And Viva Vienna taking out the Canterbury Bell Stakes. So there are a few question marks going into the race in terms of whether she would get the distance, but she seemed to really get there with ease, sitting behind the eventual second place horse and coming past it strong late.
It was a great effort. It was a great ride by Sam. He got her into a beautiful spot, got her relaxed and breathing, because the step up to 1,200, we weren't too sure because she'd never done it in her life. But she ran it out strongly, and she looks like she'll get over more ground now. So we'll give her an opportunity in the Barneswood Farm at 1,400 to try and get her to a race like the 1,000 Guineas. But it was great to get some black type because our vet Ronan Costello has a share in her, and he does a lot of work behind the scenes that not many people notice, but it was great to get a win for him as well.
And of course, he had another runner there with Tavernia there earlier on the card on Saturday, who put in a strongish performance as well. And I guess looking ahead to next week, I know Quintessa's sitting there in the Hawke's Bay Guineas as well, so she'll obviously be very prominent in that 1,000 Guineas race as well. So we're going to look at just 2 cards here on Saturday. We've got some runners there at Tauranga, and then across on Fleetwood Flemington on Sunday we see Savoir Faire and Lord Dynastic. hold the Tangerine colours over there. So we'll kick off there in Tauranga, and we are going to start in race number 1. It's the 2-year-old race. Team Rogerson versus Mark Walker and Sam Burgesson by the look of the acceptances. It's a Gartshaw Construction maiden 2-year-old, 950. Knowledge is power, has OP on the back, draws barrier 4.
He's really improved from his second trial, his first trial to his second trial. So we're taking a great deal of confidence heading into it. It's great to know that he's won a trial right-handed as well. His work's been super at home, and he's really well put together, Colt. He's a real speedy type of looking horse, so he'll bounce and put himself in amongst it. And his work Wednesday morning this morning was top-notch, and he looks like he's going to be very hard to beat.
And the Capitalist filly trial well there at Avondale, about last night, draws barrier 2 with Warren Kennedy on board.
Yeah, she was exceptional at her only trial. She absolutely bolted in. Warren's been coming over and riding a lot of work for the team, so he deserves his opportunity, and he's riding really well for us. If the rain does come, it will bring her into it a lot more, because there was a rain-affected deck at Avondale when she won her trials. So if there's any rain around, should be a winning chance as well for sure. But really, we can't split the two, so it's going to be a very interesting race. I think they'll both be well backed in the market. I'd say they'll be $2 favourites each, but they're going well.
Race 2, the Bailey's Bay of Plenty 1200, rating 75 benchmark. Pukatera was a real class 3-year-old. Unfortunately, she missed her chance in the Cambridge Breeders' Stakes, being scratched later in the week due to a slight niggle. But she finds herself back here in her 4-year-old season, lightly raced, draws barrier 5 with the man Opie Boston on board.
He's an exciting mare. I'd say she's my most exciting mare I'm looking forward to this season. The way she raced last season, she was phenomenal. She only missed once, and it was on a wet track, so that is a concern. She wouldn't line up on Saturday if the rain was to come. But there's a race at Hastings for her next Saturday. But she's going well, and her work's been terrific. Her trials have been good. She's a really outstanding mare that I think will get to the top tier.
Great. And race 3, the Ultimate Mazda 3-year-old, set weight and penalties 1300. Another couple of nice ones here. What You Wish For showed some really good form there as a 2-year-old, and came back with a second. Has he raced this campaign?
Yes, he ran second to solidify at Taupo. It was a great run. Yeah, it was quite wet up the top corner where they dipped down, and he just didn't handle it. He lost all his momentum, but he was strong late over the 1100. So the step up the 1300 is going to be key to him. But if it's a wet surface, he won't be there. There's a race for him on the Friday at Te Rapa. He would only need one more run to go onto the Sata Memorial. And if we thought he was going really good, there's a 2,000 guineas option for him. He's a really exciting horse.
Nice. And My Lips Are Sealed, the Ace High filly, won really well there at Aberdale last start as well.
Kind of just a late nomination, this one. So she worked terrific on Tuesday. That's why. And the rain looks like it's going to come. She's shown us that she can handle the wet tracks. But the 1300 is really going to suit her off her pedigree. She's a filly that's got plenty of potential, and she'll be there, and she'll be a top chance for sure off her work this week.
Nice. And race 4, the New Tech Security Open 1400, Belle of the Ball, hasn't made it her way down south to the metric mile there at Awapuni, but finds herself here in a fairly winnable race, very well weighted with 54 kilos on her back.
It is, and it looks like a better race for her leading into the Matamata Cup instead of travelling her all the way to Awapuni when we could strike a wet track. Her first up run at Hastings was really good. She hit the line strongly with a big weight. So down onto the minimum against a much similar field is going to be really good for her. And Warren's aboard, which will be a big help. And she looks like a winning chance in this for sure.
Great. And over to Cranbourne Stable there on Sunday. Can you give us a bit of an update on Savoir Faire and Lord Dynastic? Savoir Faire lines up there in race 4, the show day handicap over 1400. We're still in the nomination stage. I believe acceptances will come out in the next 24 hours. But how's Savoir Faire going leading into his Australian debut?
We get an update every morning from Ben, and everything's going to plan there. We've got Savoir Faire over there nice and early to get him settled in, because he is a horse that just takes a little bit to get into his routines, but he's into it now. The 1400 is still probably going to be a bit slick for him, but his first up run at Te Rapa on Foxbridge Plate Day was excellent. He hit the line strongly over the 1200, so He's a horse that's going to get over a bit of ground there when he gets going, so expect him to be hitting the line strongly, but he's been doing well. And Lord Dynastic, his run, you could have gone either way with his first up run at Sandown. Mick D was wrapped with him. He just said the track wasn't to suit. It's quite choppy, and the 1300 is far too short for him. He's looking for more ground, so he steps up to the mile. But from all accords, Ben's been thrilled with him since his first up run, and he's gone the right way too.
Yeah, he made ground quite nicely very late in the piece there. For those looking at horses running through the line, that was one to watch. So, in other Australian stable news, Skewif, she's having a gallop today there at Matamata, Bruce.
Yes, she's about to gallop in 20 minutes, so she'll do that, and then she heads to Australia on the 2nd of October and races on the 7th in the Rose of Kingston Fillies and Mares 1400, and she'll be very competitive in that. And if she did run up the scratch, the Golden Eagle was the main aim.
And Zurian has left the stable as of a couple of nights ago.
So Zurian left last night, Tuesday night. Her main target will be the 1,000 guineas at Caulfield, and it would be thrilling if she could do that.
Fantastic. Well, that wraps up the runners for the week. Reese, have we got a best bet? Obviously, in lieu, there might be a few scratchings, but who are you going for?
I think knowledge is power in the 2-year-old race, but if Pukatero lined up, would be Pukatero, but knowledge is power for sure. Yeah.
Cool. And I'll look ahead to next week. Obviously, we've got the Arrowfield Stud Plate Day there at the Hawke's Bay for the second leg of the Triple Crown. And we're looking forward to watching Imperatriz there in the Moya on Friday night at the Valley as well. So lots to look forward to, lots of racing action coming up. And good luck today, Reese, at Matamata. And we'll catch all the viewers out there again next week.